time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah?
Yeah, Von Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, who wants a treat, yeah? Keep listening.
Good, Coach. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. I don't have a lot of time today, but I am here to apologize to Adrian Belerjan.
Oh, okay.
Well, I won't be able to be on with him again. The day, now that we figured out his sound,
Yes.
and he's going to be full of quality,
Yes.
I wanted to be a part of it because I wanted to get back on the double Zoom because I think it would be working again. But I just can't. We got a big playoff game. Jacoby's team takes on the fierce Cardinals. Scott Forrest's team.
Hold on. The Fierce Cardinals?
No, they're just the Saskatoon Cardinals,
Okay.
but they're fierce. They got a lot of good ball players.
They're a good team. I see.
The
what you're
coach of the Berries.
saying. Yeah.
What is his name? Joel Carnahan or something like that? Maybe that's his son's name. Anyway, his son's on the team. Sick ball player. Really
Hold
good.
on. The head coach of the Berries?
Has a kid on the Cardinals. Yeah, and he can hit the ball and he can pitch the ball.
He suck dingers?
I've seen him sock a dinger.
Nice.
I'm
At that
assuming
age,
there's been a
he's
couple
so
more
baller.
dingers. Scott Forrest, friend of
Yeah.
Adrian Belerjan and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Tall glass of water. If I had to compare two tall glasses of water between Pete Trumpy and Scott Forrest,
Oof.
two different age categories, about 5 or 6 years between them.
That's one of those situations where it's
I
like
don't know.
there's a fork in the road. Which road do you choose?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter there. You're winning no matter
You're
what.
winning, unless you pick the middle. Of the
Unless you
fork.
pick no choice.
Yeah.
I actually
You
pass. I'm going
crash.
to turn around and go the other way.
So I'm here just to another little thing I wanted to bring up.
Yes.
You know how there was hockey playoffs like a long time ago?
Yes.
And we had a little challenge,
poo?
a little drafty poo, and I keep forgetting to announce that the same person that won our golfy poo event
won
won the hockey one and beat me in the final. So if the Oilers would have won Game 7, me and you would have been champions.
Nice.
Or no, did you pick a team or did I pick it?
I picked
for
a
you?
team. It was
Oh,
garbage.
No.
I was
Yeah,
going for
I would have assisted.
Yeah.
With the pass.
With the pass.
We would have won together.
Yes.
But instead, the Oilers decided to tease us, come all the way back, lose, and the Your Show champion is the same champion again.
As the
so
Masters
now,
champion. Yeah.
Mordso, a.k.a. Bryce Sasko,
Sasko.
has 2 T-shirts here
got a
waiting for him.
Full closet by the end.
And he's
of the
got
year.
one sick one. So this one, the Your Show, there was a design that we tried to go a
Loves
little
designing
minty.
things, yes.
The little minty one, the original one for golf, kind of played on Royal Anders' design for the Your Show backdrop. We
Yes.
tried to copy that a little
That's
bit.
pretty
This
cool.
one, the guy that designed the shirts, said, how about this? And he did Florida Panthers colors, and he's got the Stanley Cup in there, and you hated it because you're an Oilers and a Bruins fan, and you think the two colors clash. But Mortso, we have another shirt for you.
I'm
and
also
maybe
not a
shirt
fashion,
connoisseur.
a fashion maven in any way, so take that for what it is.
You might be.
Yeah.
You might be a fashion
Untimely
maven.
demise. Love it. No sleeves. Sleeves are for losers. That's what
You know
I
what's the
learned.
problem? I've been to a few punk shows, and one guy would rock this shirt and was cut up like that, and it was white though, and he had yellowing stains,
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like you would
Pitters,
underneath,
yeah.
and just that turned me off.
How is he?
little bit.
How is he pittering so low? Like you gotta.
Peter, you've done this is new. You've gone lower on the cut. It was never that low.
Well,
little bit
I
higher.
have like half my
Bigger
shirts are cut. You know what I mean? Like sleeves are
Maggie's
the
going to
worst.
town.
Yeah, she's getting
Maggie.
ready. She's got a new outfit. We're gonna show off here.
So that's it. I just wanted to get on here and say that we have a champion, and then maybe one day we'll get to the point where we can
Get him in studio.
we can have some funds, or we can do some research and see if we can collect funds for everyone that enters these drafts.
There you go.
And then have a winner. I don't know if that's allowed.
Probably
As a
illegal. Well, we can find a
Third
way.
party person. Like it's just a pool,
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's a gambling thing.
dude.
Podcast.
I'm pretty sure the rules strictly say you're good until you get caught. What's that thing? It's like a bit easier to say oopsie daisy than hey, can I? Something like that.
No, but if you acknowledge that you know that you did something wrong, like I just did, like we've thought about it, or
Okay.
there was an idea that
We're on
this might
watch
be
now.
wrong,
Yeah.
we'd already
Okay.
So there'd be no money. It's going to still just be us sponsoring. So sponsors can do things.
Yes,
so if
they
we could
can.
find a sponsor to
We got
donate
buddies.
some money
Yeah.
for an event and they think that would be fun, we'll do that. Otherwise, they'll still just be T-shirts that I pay for.
Perfect. And you
And-
love designing them, and they look great.
And they're all for Bryce Sasko.
And it's not like there was like 2 people. There was like 19 people in the draft.
Yeah.
He's
And
won
he just
both of
won
them.
both of them.
So
So he's the
apparently
wiener.
Apparently he's a little too good.
He's a little too wienerish for not showing up and accepting
Yeah.
the shirt. So I'm calling out you, Bryce Sasko. This is also your show.
Nice.
So if you want your shirts, you know where to find them. Probably don't because you don't know where we are. But if you did,
Super secret.
I would.
Damn.
If you did want to know,
locations.
I would
Yes.
Tell you.
Okay.
You can come get them.
You
That's
did
it.
great.
I
You
gotta
did
go.
great. Yep.
Okay.
Love
Bye
you,
bye.
buddy.
See ya. Peace.
Oh, perfect. The magic. I was going to say of TV, but I guess it's not TV. The magic of YouTube as we have kicked off the Wednesday edition of your show. Great for Coach to stop by there, say hello, and, let everyone know what's going on as those drafts were a lot of fun. And it's never as fun when the one guy wins everything, so hopefully someone can beat him in the next one that we do. But if you are looking to do any sort of advertising with us or sponsoring with us, and you have a draft in mind, be it a golf draft or any sport, we don't care. We'll throw it up and throw it on and have a lot of fun with it. So that is what we do here. Yeah. My name is Gary. We're going to go to a Maggie Cam right now. We got the dragon on the 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, and 5s today as he's doing all sorts of things. I don't want to throw too much at him, but if we can head over to the Maggie Cam, we got a special one today. Look at that. Straight out of the dog park, bro. How cute. The Maggie Cam for Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Brooksy and I, along with Margaret, we're over there today. As you can see, Marge got to go on a little bit of a shopping spree, and she picked out her straight out of the dog park t-shirt. You can have one as well. They are incredibly, incredibly cute. She actually loves it. I didn't know she liked wearing shirts so much. As we were filming another edition of our Adventures with Maggie, a fun little thing we used to do with our friends at Pet Planet on 8th Street. And we're bringing it back, baby. So we shot in there with Leroy was helping out the whole time, Maggie's boyfriend. They had a lot of fun. And it's always nice to visit with Rochelle. Mike wasn't there today, but we got to say hi to Rochelle and Leroy, which is always good. And to the rest of the team there, Kirsten, Shar, as well as Chris. We love them all very much. Oh, look at me go here. Hi. That was fun. They're all amazing. So go by, say hello to our good friends at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. And if your dog is looking for a shopping spree, they got a bunch of great outfits there for any occasion. And Maggie's proudly sporting hers today. The video will be out soon. It's going to be very, very fun because you always have fun when you go to Pet Planet on 8th Street. Dragon, my sweet man. How we doing in there, my beautiful little muffin? Doing great, man. Doing absolutely fantastic. So on Wednesdays, we usually check in on the other side of planet Earth. I think it's the other side. I don't know. I look at a risk board, and it looks like it's all the way over the other side. So we're going to say that. Okay, well, perfect. We'll wait and see. So we're waiting on AJ. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to join us today. So that's a Wednesday thing. Normally, like Coach Mazer was saying, he likes to join on with the double Zoom, and we get to talk to Adrian about all sorts of fun, cool things. I do know that the kids were off school, so they might be out gallivanting. So that's okay. What do you think we should do? Should we go to our next pre-tape, or should we wait around for a bit? I guess we can just stop it, too. So this is so cool. Okay. I'm going to get that out of my ear here. Sound hearing impressions, by the way. We're going to go get our custom ones soon. To Cassandra and the team over there, we love you guys. You're all amazing. So, so cool. So fun. I never thought I could have fun at a hearing impression place, but who would have thought? There we are. So this dude that we are about to introduce you to, he's a guy I've known for a long time. He's probably the most interesting human being I've ever met. And he is a session drummer. And through our conversations, he came by just to, check in, say hi, like we love to do here in the studio. And we got talking. And we got talking, and we got into stories, and we got into his life. And we sort of accidentally started another brand new show here on the Dufferin Avenue Media Network. And it's going to be amazing. We're still working on a name of it, but we have like 3 episodes pretty much ready to go already. So what I'm going to do for you now is play you a little snippet of the first episode that's going to be coming out. The man's name is Graham Templeman. If you know Grandma at all, you know exactly what I'm talking about when when I say he's the most interesting man in the world. His stories from the road are incredible, and the guy's knowledge on everything is like just second to none. He's a podcast guy too. He loves listening to comedy podcasts. He was on Kill Tony. If you know the podcast Kill Tony with Tony Hinchcliffe, he was on there. He won a Mexican drum battle. He's still waiting for a spot on the show as the new drummer down there in, I guess they're moving to Austin now. So very interesting times. And now we are going to introduce to you, for the first time on your show, one of my favorite people. His name is Grandma.
Do you remember when goji berries became popular?
Man, they were huge everywhere. There's a craze.
Okay, so starting off 2003, I would have been 19 years old. I met someone in Prince George, BC.
Go Cougars.
Who are the Cougars?
Prince George Cougars. WHL team.
Oh,
They were. I don't think they're there anymore.
Okay, so there's a lady at a band house that ran the band house. She was actually the manager of these two bars, which I won't name because I wasn't too much of a fan of the owner. But her name was Maggie.
Oh, get out of here.
Yes, it was very, very strange that this all kind of just snapped into my head. But
And hold on. She was a nice old lady?
extremely nice.
Okay, good. I didn't want her, tarnishing the Maggie name. Thank
So
God.
when I was playing with Vagabond at the time, with Mike, Dave, and Jason, we were living in a bus, and we came 5 days early to the gig. And because we heard there was a band house,
You did say living, right?
living.
Yeah.
No,
So
we had
sure.
no
Yeah.
jobs.
Okay.
We all lived in there. I would have been 19, and we were playing at this bar, and we had a 4-night thing. And usually there's local bands there. So if the local band was in, they're not using the band house.
So
And we were told that we could, if we showed up early, we'd have a place to stay and we wouldn't have to stay in the bus.
great deal.
Just as long as we didn't talk to the owner. So we showed up to the bar.
That's a weird stipulation.
Supposedly, we didn't know. We didn't know where we were getting into. He wasn't very much of a fan of like dealing with the bands. There was a GM and a booker and all this stuff. Don't talk to the owner,
That's
who is
very
there all the
sketchy
time.
to me, yeah.
Yeah. So the fun thing about this was the only name we knew was the name of the owner. So we didn't know this Maggie woman yet. And we went to the bar 5 days early, not supposed to. Plus 40 outside. We're all just looking disheveled. Everyone sees this white school bus pull into this huge parking lot for a nightclub. And they're like, oh, fuck, this better not be the band. And turns out it's the band. They're coming in, and they're asking about getting into the band house. Well, asking around, who's there during the day? The owner, doing the books.
Maggie.
No Maggie.
No.
They're like, have you talked to Maggie? And we're like, no, all we know is John. And this John guy hears his name, and he comes out and talks to us. He's like, who are you guys? We're like, we're Vagabond. We're playing here on the weekend. He's like, you better get the fuck out of here right now.
Whoa!
Or he's like, you're better not be looking for the band house. And he was just like, well, we just wanted to. He's like, no, get out of here.
No explanation.
No explanation. Got out of the bar, went back into the bus, and phoned the agent. And the agent told us, what the hell did you just? You did the one thing
That we said not to do.
that you said not to do. And what did he say? He said, get the fuck out of the building.
Clearly.
He's like, well, guys, like, come on. Like, we're supposed to, there's a number for a lady. You're supposed to ask for Maggie. And we're like,
There's a
Maggie, we
system
don't
in
know
place
this.
here.
It's like, oh, like, I'm going to have to find this. Couldn't get a hold of them after this because he was pissed at the agent that we showed up. So supposedly he was notorious for firing bands before they even played. And we found out that we weren't fired. They were just told to go away. So we left, and literally for 3 nights, not 4, because we were there pretty early. 3 nights, we stayed in the park, parking lot. So it would be like
On the bus?
on the bus.
Okay.
It was right next to the children's like water park, and we figured, well, that's you could
go for a-
walk
you
in
go for
front
a
of them
dip.
at night.
Go for a dip.
and shower.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I'm with you.
And because it was Prince George, everyone thought we were tree planters because tree planters would come in and destroy the city.
On the buses, yeah.
And like just spend all their money and go nuts. And we're like, no, we're a band. And they're like, oh, that's great. It was like everyone's happy that we're not tree planters.
Thank God, not those stupid tree planters.
We had cops come in and wake us up. Like, what are you guys doing here? It's like, oh, get out of here. It's like, no, we're a band playing at the Generator. And they're like, oh, I said the name of the club. We're playing at this bar. And he's like, oh, okay, so why aren't you staying in the band house? We're like, well. And yet he's just like, oh, yeah, that guy. And
so
like,
everyone hates this guy.
Everyone hates him and he hates everybody else. But like everyone goes to his bar. That's just because he owns all of the big bars. So we went walking every day up and down the river. It's a beautiful town to walk in down by the river, much like Saskatoon. There's lots of great trails, but the trails, say like Meewasin Valley Authority's got like things on the ground, say, oh, this is the flora
like
and fauna, or like, here's a map,
signs.
here's a little thing, here's something. Everything in that town had been ripped off, spray painted, destroyed, like you could tell why they hated tree planters because all of the stuff that they put out for the community is like just wrecked. And it's beautiful down there. So every day we walk past these places that all live across the river and we're like, man, like that guy, every time we walked in that one corner, it's like there's a pool and a hot tub back there. And it was like, man, what I would give to be out of minus or plus 40 heat.
Get me in that pool, baby.
And get me in that friggin' pool. I wonder if we could just go talk to that dude about going to his pool.
Just see if he'll let us. Oh, I
so
love that idea.
Finally, we get a number from our agent. And the number, call Maggie. Go down to the bar. We're like, we're not doing this again. He's like, go down to the bar. She's there in the afternoon. She's waiting for you. It's like, oh, okay. So she actually lives in a house that houses bands for the Country Bar, which is a much higher paying bar, much higher class living situation.
Because there's no John there.
And she's the one that deals with everybody for both bars. But the rock band stays up on a different part of the city, and she's down by the river.
Okay.
And she's like, you guys don't get the band house for another 2 nights after we meet her. And she's like, but you can come stay with me because the local band at the Country Bar is local and they don't use the band house. So you can come to stay with me for the next 2 nights.
Perfect.
Until you get the other thing and get yourself situated. We're like, great.
Awesome.
It's like, I'm going to hop in my car, just follow me. So we follow her and we're going back to our home base where we had stayed for the last 3 nights. And she pulls up and into this house and she's like, pull right in. We're like, what, to the house with the pool down by the river
that we've been
that we walk past every single day, looking up into the yard?
Get out of here.
And she's just like, yeah, this is my house. Like, you guys want to go into the pool? We're like,
I would have started crying. I would have cried.
We did.
Yeah.
All of us, like, tears in the eyes, just like, what? There's a hot tub. We're going to get a barbecue started. I have 2 roommates. I have
you need right
a
there.
musician that lives with me upstairs, and then I have a pool house, which this man, like, I
lives
think, he was a French man from Quebec, and he's like, he's very nice. I don't know if you guys, need anything, but if you want anything extra to, like, smoke, like,
talk about weed.
he can help you in the pool house. Like, really? What this is nuts.
World.
Like, how are we allowed in your property? And then she shows us to everyone had their own room, bed. It was freezing cold in their basement. AC's just cranked.
Just
so then we proceed to hang out, enjoy ourselves. Oh no, I'm going to feed you. Here's a bunch of beers. You have drinks with my musician friend who has a 6-month music gig. He's from Japan, lives in Prince George, and has a 6-month gig with a country band in Tuktoyaktuk. And off of that, he comes to live in Prince George with her, and I think they bedded each other often, which was super cool.
Very formal way of saying that.
They were very formal about their very extremely tight situation. Beautiful house. She had nothing but stories. She had been housing bands out there. She's like, you're from Saskatoon. Yeah. Oh, you probably know the Wide Mouth Mason boys.
And then
I remember them from when they were 17. And it was just like supposedly she's got all this stuff from their early career, and like this is really cool. Like
Perfect spot for grandma.
what a great time. So at night, now we're in a conversation with this French man who had helped us out. And now we're in a full-on marketing scenario. This is where it all comes around to this.
You're here.
He was the man who introduced goji berries to Canada. And he was
goji berry guy.
basically going on a cross-country advertising trip.
Promoting this new superfruit.
And they had really taken to it, and there's a lot of areas that were going to start growing them around Prince George, and he stuck around there. And the big story around goji berries was like in Tibet. He went through the whole thing. There's this mountain up in Tibet. A bunch of monks were there. There's these certain types of berries that grew over top of the well and would fill the well full of berries. And supposedly all of these men and monks that lived up on this hill all of them lived to be well over 100 years old. And it was like notorious that they would live very, very long lives.
Was the well always full of goji berries?
Yes.
Wow.
And it
What a
had
life.
been going there for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. And this was their water source. So without them knowing it, they were basically drinking goji juice on the regular.
Non-stop.
And then out comes the goji juice. I feel, yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely feels like a superfruit.
The weed is very, very, it's very good. And this goji stuff just, man, I feel great. Would you guys like to maybe try and sell this on the road? It's like, absolutely not. Like, that's a terrible
Come
idea.
on, man.
Are you going to give us money to do this? Well, I can get you started. You need about $8,000 to start. But then
that's it?
it's like, so we're going to pay you to do that? No. But you gave us such a good deal on the weed.
But now I'm getting worried because I thought this guy was like the man. And then he's just a scammer.
Well, he wasn't scamming.
He was actually a successful goji berry guy. And he wanted you to sling for him.
We could have been on the ground floor, and Maggie was just like, you don't have to do it.
Don't listen to him. He's
Yeah,
high. He's always high.
he's always high.
He's always got crazy ideas.
Yeah. So yeah, that's weird how that all
Dude.
came around.
Hello.
Goji berries.
This is my friend Grandma.
Hi.
I've known him for quite some time. I'm a huge fan. Thank you for coming here. I've been bugging Grandma to come check out the new space. My grandma's always on the road. And we finally got together. And I knew when I started sort of dreaming about this lovely little place
Which is amazing.
thank you very much on behalf of everyone, that you would be a guy that could benefit from this far more than most. And my biggest thing, and I've been asked this a couple times, I always hate the stock question of, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, get out of here. What a dumb question. I get so mad. But then it hit me. It's like, you know what? I do have an answer. Like my friend Hardcora from the Pastor Bedtime podcast was asking me. I said, you know what? Where I want to see myself in 5 years is having all of my friends hanging out in this place and never having to worry about money again. That would be success to me. That would be what money is to most people. That would be money to me. That's what I want. And I see a guy like you. I'm like, man, you can thrive in a place like this, bro.
Hell yeah. Like, and when you say that, it's just like, that makes so much sense. Like, without asking you that question, when you answer it, it's like, well, yeah, that seems like you through and through.
That's it.
Like, and that's the best part about any kind of, I don't know if you call it an art form or anything. Like, when you're a creative person,
Yeah, there it is.
all you want to do is just do it together with other people.
Yes.
Have if it's a collective or a family or a home or whatever you want to call it. Like, you ever heard of Meow Wolf?
No.
It's a massive conglomerate of artists that put together interactive experiences.
Isn't
and
a
they have
kitty cat like meow?
Meow
Meow
Wolf.
Wolf.
Yeah, I think it started in Santa Fe, possibly by, I don't know if it was started, but maybe massively first funded by Peter Jackson.
I know that name.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like they have a huge building, the Meow Wolf building, which is a massive interactive like tour, like a museum, but of crazy art.
That sounds sick.
And just anybody and everybody, if you want to be a part of it, come show up and give an idea. And there's a place in Vegas now called Area 15, and it's made by Meow Wolf, and they have something called the Omega Mart, which is a fake grocery store that's completely full of like it's like you're in a cartoon. And it's the attention to detail is wild. And like you'll open up like a fridge door and walk into like another dimension where you walk through a washing machine and you're going to like some other room. One of those, like, and then there's a concert on the other.
You go, hey, that's going to be a.
So like that.
There's a concert on the other end of the
yeah. There's concert venues in there. So yeah. So like, and now these start up all over the country. I think they've been wanting to start bigger ones all over. And people travel from all over to go and do this one thing, which is they don't know. There's an open space here. It's like moths to a flame. It's just like, here's a space that's created where I can go there and I can help, and supposedly people will listen to me. Like, what else would you want? If like I do like facial, I do makeup on people. It's like, well, we need this. We need this to do this. It's like, oh, cool. And you've given us space. So like what I believe that you've created here in this city is a space much like a Meow Wolf idea, where it's like, I want to open up this space to other people who want to do stuff like this.
And that's
like so come in and stir the pot.
Yeah, man. All of our friends, every single one of them can tell you a story about how, I really wanted to do this, but I never had the money. I never had the time. I didn't have the physical capabilities to do it. Mm-hmm. And so everyone's sort of like 1 foot in sort of what we are in here already. My goal is just to say to them, hey, like I loved you like a guy like Croker. Like I loved you before, man, as a dude. And I know you got let go just like I did, like very closely together. Like we can bond over that. Yeah. And like, so we went and then we sat down for lunch, and I barely ever like really knew him. I was just a fan of what he does. And then all of a sudden we have a lunch out at Big Murr's.
Cool.
And we're like, hey man, anything you get, let me know. I'll let you know if I get anything. And I told him about this place, and then he was in here from the ground up. And now he's doing the Creator Aid thing. He's got like millions of views on all of his videos for like best golf course, and like he does commercials.
Oh yeah, I've saw
he's everywhere, man.
Yes,
he's blown up.
Yeah,
and both of us have sort of been on like this journey together. And I would have never even reached out to him if I hadn't, said to myself, like I went through. I was basically like 2 months ahead of him, 2 or 4 months ahead of him for being let go. And so I was like, I'm gonna give him about 2 months, because after 2 months, that's when I was able to like, actually use my brain without being angry or sad or depressed or all the shit you go through with it. So I gave him 2 months, we did that. And then he was like talking about his options, and I told him about this. And now he was here on Friday. Like he just comes by, he's a part of the family. He's like one of my buddies that I said, I want you to thrive. So he has his own podcast as well. And sometimes he'll just come in here and record in here and just do his thing. And it's like, yeah, it's all yours. Like all of my buddies. I'm like,
what's
this
it called?
Yours. The Sask's Food and Sports Podcast.
Cool.
It's fucking awesome. Like, and he does so much cool shit like that.
So yeah, I've seen a couple of those show up on my algorithm.
Well, yeah,
because of Sask Golf and all that. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So you'll notice as you hang around here more, you'll meet all these guys that are just like Croker, who, like I have friends that still work at radio stations who just so happen to be like top tier podcast hosts, like our buddy Uncle Brando from the Commander Cookout podcast. Like in this world, he's a superstar. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's a big name. He's a big freaking deal. And then at his other job, he pushes a button. Like they don't even understand like how incredibly talented he is. Mm-hmm. So I see a guy like that, and I say, let's show everyone what you can actually do. Let's show them what they won't let you do over there. Mm-hmm. And he comes here, and what does he do? He crushes it. Mm-hmm. Crushes it. And that to me is like, oh, yes, give me that. Yeah. And it's just so cool that it's if you build it, they will come. That's it. That's all it is.
When I built the studio at my farm years ago, it was the whole time we were doing it was Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Like that's
you have to be in that mindset, right?
Yeah. It's the only way that you can live. Like even growing up as a farmer, like I wasn't farming. All the guys around me were farming, but like the farm wasn't doing so well. Yeah. And the farm ended up getting leased out. Like the land's been leased out since before I was 10 years old. So like that idea of like, if you build it, they'll come is like, it was always in there, because not only was the farm not working the whole time, the farm wasn't working. My dad was already like studying to be a computer programmer in like the 80s and 90s.
thinking
I didn't
ahead.
know there was this
Yeah.
whole shift happening. So it's like,
You're just
oh,
hanging
the
out.
farm fails. It's like, well, no, he was studying,
You're actually leveling up.
out
Really,
for
right?
computers out of books in a tractor. Like
crazy.
it was like he was transitioning, and it's like, no way. His idea still to this day is like, it's there. Like he is doing exactly what he's always wanted to do. It's very inspiring
It's
at a younger
crazy.
age too.
Yeah.
Just to be like, what the hell? And anytime somebody has that in front of you, and if you don't turn that back around to yourself, I think like, it's like, well, what can I do? This person's doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
Well, what can I do? Well, I would kind of want to help. I would want to learn. I think the people who want to learn end up succeeding
Oh, absolutely.
in the long run,
Of
because
course.
you're always of the mind that you have more to do.
Yeah.
and more to
Not only
understand.
that, you're not stuck in that negative energy zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're open to new ideas and new things, so you're not as combative in your life.
Yeah. And this is because we smoked a joint.
Wow.
This is why we're talking like this.
I think it's good knowledge for most people as well. But I will say that the joint definitely helps. So maybe we can introduce you and tell people who you are, because I don't even know how to exactly introduce you. Like, to me, you were the drummer for 911 Turbo. And that's where I really got to
I
fall
did
in love
for
with
a
you.
bit, yeah.
And it was the funnest run for tour manager Gary in the history of anything. And it was all thanks to you and your so innovative at the time helmet cam that you would
Yeah.
wear.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually a helmet cam, but it was
Well-
like the headlamp.
Well, okay, so Jason and Jordan,
Yes.
known them both for a long time because they're both drummers. When two drummers have a band where they're both not playing drums,
It's fun.
and they ask you to be in it, it's like, man, are you serious? Really?
A little bit of pressure, hey?
I get to do this? Well, no, it's fun because you know that they're not going to be on your ass
Because
Like,
they know what it's like to drum.
Well, they're just like, hey, do this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like miscommunication. It's just super simple.
Yeah.
And then if I try something, then they get excited because they just it's so much more
Yeah,
fun.
they get so hyped, man. They're so hyped.
Just to play those shows that I had been to before.
Yeah, to be on stage for them.
Yeah, it was like we get to go to
So cool.
Banff. We get to go to these
The weird
places.
room, hanging out in the band house. You were
Hang
talking
out-
about the band house earlier. So before we
Yeah.
get, because that could be episodes and
Oh,
episodes
it is.
of
Yeah.
a million shows.
It is.
How many different bands have there been for you? Have you ever stopped and looked into it at all with your brain?
When I had my like website under control, I had to go through it.
Under control. Has it gone out of control?
Well, I don't think I really do anything with it. I can't remember
fair.
what site I used to make the website, but my dad gave me a present years ago, which was grahamtempleman.com. When your
Your
dad's
dad got you a website, bro?
he paid for it.
That's
for like
amazing.
8 years or what. He was like, I'm going to pay you for 8 or 10 years of a domain name. He was like, happy birthday.
awesome.
That's what you get when your
That's
dad's
amazing.
a computer programmer.
Yeah.
It's like, and I was
That's
just
so
eternally
sick.
grateful for it.
Yeah.
Which seemed strange at the time. I didn't put a website on it. There was just a main page. I didn't put one on it for like years. And then finally, just one day, I was like, I'm going to make grahamtempleman.com, which was just kind of like a Facebook page or something. But I just wanted a link board. So what people use Linktree for now, essentially, is what I was using.
Yeah.
It wasn't called Linktree, but it's like, that's what it was.
Shows all
It was just, here's every band that
That
I've
you're doing.
been attached to, the previous shows that I had played that were somewhat notable. I was trying to get hired more as a teacher and like a session guy. So it was just like a business card in very short form. So you could just click through, not like full of pictures or stupid
it's
stuff.
not busy.
And links to other stuff. Like this was in 2006 or 7.
Oh, I was going to ask.
Right
do you still
around,
have the
like-
domain name?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my email is graham@grahamtempleman.com still to this day.
That's baller, dude.
And
I like that.
The look that you just gave me and what you just said
Awesome.
is basically what I get from border agents when you give them their information. Because sometimes they're like, oh, you got it. And websites like Graham at my name, grahamtempleman.com. They're like, really? Like, that's
so
badass.
rare,
We're like, yeah, it's super
so
easy.
rare, man. Like, fuck.
Like, and it's a Gmail account, but you can like pay for it to go through your
flip
thing.
it, yeah.
Your thing. It's just like nice. So
great.
I've always had that, and always of the ilk that I'm always promoting myself wherever I go, just
Yeah.
to maybe get a gig down the line. So that's just the way I always have worked. So when I did that, I compiled everything, and at the time I had played with 38 different groups. And so that was about 2007, 2008.
At one time.
No,
Well, that was
no,
up to that point.
Up to
Gotcha.
that point. And that was either playing one set, doing a recording for them, playing a couple shows.
Like you said, you were linked.
Filling
through
in.
them.
Yeah, lots of fill-in stuff. And like in a town like Saskatoon, there isn't a lot of drummers that were willing to even take the gig that is kind of out of their thing. So I did that for a lot of my 20s.
Oh, I love that. Getting reps in, man. Getting those
Yeah.
reps in.
And to eventually go like along with Jason and Jordan, like when I met you and started touring with you, or the tours that we did do, that was just another one across like so many different other gigs. Because I remember telling you too, it's just like, this is the 8th time I've been to Banff this year.
It's not.
It's like, this is the 4th band and it's the 8th time. I walked in, all the staff are just like,
Hey.
weren't you just here? It's like, I was.
Like the
I'm
Fonz, man.
You're like, literally, do you get payroll checks? It's like you should be on payroll. You're here more
Most
than I am.
people talk like that and they exaggerate. You know what I mean? Like most people, amp it up for the story. But I was legit there, and you owned Banff. You were like the Don of Banff. And it wasn't like, obviously you're already so lovable and kind, and everyone just gravitates to you because you're not an asshole. You're a genuine nice dude.
you follow the
but you
rules.
throw that in with the fact that you're there all the time. Like all of the bar, not just bartenders, the waitresses, the owners, they all see you. Like, oh, you're back again. Hey, who are you with this time? Like, oh, not these assholes. Like,
Yeah.
hey.
And it was beautiful because
crazy.
we would know all these, I don't know, things. But then I just found it fascinating that because Jason had gone through so much touring with other bands.
Yeah, well, he had to run too, like right after. Didn't he stay for like another week to play with 2 more bands?
I think, yeah, because he
did
was
something
still
crazy
there.
like that.
Yeah.
So he
And-
had to come back separately because he was staying for another week to play with different
Yeah,
bands.
he would be at that
So
the sound
crazy.
guy's house.
Yeah.
He'd stay with the sound guy. And I remember being there too, where he was staying there, and no band was playing, but he was there. He's like, "I've been gaming all day." You're hanging out in the most beautiful place in the world, just playing
Like
video games.
Civilization on his
Yeah.
laptop.
It was,
I love it.
yeah. But I remember all of us just like shooting stories back at each other, like Jordan playing with Megan Lane,
Yeah, dude.
or Hattie playing with Mo Badass when it started, and like then you're just sitting there in the back like for hours. We're like, so Gary, how's it going? It's just this just keep going. I
couldn't-
can't comprehend what the hell you guys are talking
As an
about.
outsider, it's almost like I was led into the secret club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I think we can all agree that musicians, after you spend some time touring and you're on the road, you sort of become a little more, not jaded, but a little less open to telling about all the stories and all the cool
and
stuff.
there's nicknames for clubs. There's
Yeah.
things like that where it's we're talking in short form, and you have no idea what we're talking about.
Exactly. So you guys connect on a different level. So to be around that and to hear, like you were talking earlier, and like these are stories that you don't forget because they're so outrageous. When you're talking about, you'd be
They're
driving and you guys would throw stuff at each other's vehicles.
Yeah.
And it started out like all innocent, and then it ends up with like literal like horse cocks going through windshields and guys almost going off highways and not that specifically, but that sort of idea. Where it's like, how does it get to this? Why is there a horse wiener in the car?
Yeah.
Just these stories that stick with you. And I remember it so clearly because I was so amazed at not just how easily the stories flowed, but how quickly you would move on from something that would have me laughing so hard. I'm back there losing, and then you'll already be on the next story, and everyone's just like, "Oh yeah, man, but what about this?"
Because there's a certain time when you get excited, especially when you're in a van, like you only have what you're listening to or when you're talking to each other. So there is an element of you're always listening, but something will remind you of a thing because you've been to that club, you went to that place, the guy, the bartender you're talking about, And it's just like you're not waiting for your turn to speak, but you kind of just have this, like, if I can mention something about Jim at the band house in
I can add
Banff.
to this.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got a Jim story. I'll tell you later.
Totally.
And then you let him keep going. And it's
Yeah.
just like
the relatability, like the
Yeah.
camaraderie that you share.
Yeah.
It's you say it so perfectly. An outsider just doesn't understand because they don't know the connections that you've made when you're all going through this same sort of cog.
I've heard now on podcasts that I've listened to for years. I love comedy podcasts. There's guys that are, lots of crew from LA. There's now all the guys that moved to Austin.
Yeah.
But the New York guys, you hear all of the legendary stories from the old clubs with the Comedy Cellar, the back table at the Comedy Cellar, where guys would be like, it was hard to sit back there because you get roasted. And like in the old Patrice O'Neill days, like you got Bill Burr and Patrice O'Neill and Rich Voss and like all these like old school guys at that time, or Keith Robinson, the guys that were bringing up Big Jay Okerson and Kevin Hart, like all these guys that are huge now. Yeah. You're not allowed at that back table because you don't have you're not sharp enough yet. There's not enough room because it's a back table, but you haven't done shit. And once you get back there, it's just like, no, you're listening to these guys speak a different language because they've been on the road for 15 years and they get to come to the Cellar on a Tuesday night and they don't get spots until after 11. And they kill. And they're only here for 20 minutes. But when they're here for 20 minutes, they're all in that back little corner. And it's like, oh, shit, I wish one day I could be in that corner.
Yeah.
Because if what that means is I would have to have been on the road for the past 5 years, only just to be here and feel comfortable for the next 20 minutes with my buddies and tell a couple stories because, that asshole in Baltimore at this laugh shop, blah, 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 blah. And he's just like, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they go off about it.
Yeah.
And if you're an outsider, you have no clue what's going on.
Yeah.
So when I hear that, it's like, that's like hanging out with some of the old timers at Bud's.
Yeah.
Even though people don't want to be there or hear that, you hear a couple old timers out in the back just having a chit chat with each other. It's like, I wouldn't mind just kind of being a fly on the wall for a little bit. And because it's funny, you understand, but I haven't done the things that they've done.
That's my question. How much do you think it's changed from their time to your time?
It's not even close
Not even
to
calculable.
No, there is no similarities.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my main man, Graham. A little taste of what's going to be coming down the pipeline as him and I were talking earlier today. I was letting him know we're going to play a little snippet from what we got going on there. And yeah, very interesting guy, to say the least. It's a little teaser of what's to come. I'm not sure. We're still working on a name for whatever his show is going to be, but that's what it's going to be. Just him telling those stories, man, and learning and growing and all that stuff. So to have that going on is very, very cool. As we continue on your show this Wednesday, I got to tell you, I have the social media stuff from the old job, and I never checked the messengers, and I made the mistake of checking the messenger by accident today because we were trying to set up with coach number 1 and coach number 2. And our Zoom, for some reason, is out on the wonky side right now, so it's not really working. And so they were trying to do something with Messenger, and I have no idea what the heck that is or how it's working. And then there was like 80 messages in the Facebook Messenger, and then all this stuff started happening. My phone was going crazy. So anyway, so now they're trying to go again, but what they don't understand is mine doesn't work. I don't have a camera or an audio way of doing that. So coach, if you're watching, to Adrian, I'm sorry again. Hopefully you can reschedule. They keep trying, like they keep ringing me on here like I'm going to be able to answer it. No one, technology is the worst is what I've learned. So I'm going to see if we can wrangle coach 1 for tomorrow. We'll see if we can make that happen. Today, big birthday party going on for my main man, Justin. Happy birthday to you, old friend. He just sent me a picture, and it looks like he's out on the golf course with some really, really good people. So that is exciting. Happy birthday to you, brother. Hopefully you have yourself an incredible day, and I'm hoping to see you soon. As well, tonight, speaking of Grandma, he's got a show going on. They're playing at Bud's. He's in a band called Lutheran, and they are absolutely majestic. Two-man piece, and they just crush, kill, destroy. It's fantastic stuff going on at Bud's. They're going to be there with our buddies Fake Paradise, Oshik and Jace, another two-man group that is absolutely incredible. So if you're looking for something to do tonight, Bud's on Broadway is the place to go and check it out, as there's going to be like a lot of really cool, aggressive music, which is right up our alley. If I didn't have all of the phobias of leaving the house, I'd probably be there. Except we also have a bunch of stuff we're doing tonight, too. So to the boys out at Bud's tonight, be sure to have all of the fun. And sticking with shows that are coming up, my main man, Tristan. Yeah, drummer for Raven Witch, by the way, Bringer of Storms. So good. Such a good song. Out now, you can go check it out. Tristan has a band called Battle X. Now, if you're into Norse metal, like Viking metal, like Amon Amarth and all that stuff, Battle X is the band for you, as they are playing a show tomorrow night at the Royal Canadian Air Force Lair Hall. That's Avenue C North in Saskatoon. It's going to be an amazing all-ages show. All right, the doors open at 5. How about that? Bands get going at 6 o'clock. A nice early one, as it's all ages. $15 entry to get in, and you get yourself all sorts of amazing, amazing metal, including the great Battle X, along with Exterminatus. So that's something for you to enjoy. That is tomorrow. We'll see if we can do a little bit more with that, as like there's all these things and all this stuff going on the Facebook. Never open your Facebook Messenger. That's what I learned today. Got a lot of stuff on there that I had no idea. My buddy Nick Campbell, he sent me a message like 2 weeks ago, and I just responded to him. It sounds like he's doing good. How the heck is it that like every couple of weeks I accidentally check it, and then I send a message to one person, and then instantly their message back? Like, is it working like a text phone? Is that how those people do that? Like, how are they on it so fast? Why would anybody want notifications for a Facebook Messenger? That's dude. I say it to everybody. If you like, just text. That's what people use nowadays. I'm upset. I wanted to talk about the Olympics, Dragon. I wanted to talk to AJ about the Olympics. I feel like Australia is a big Olympic country, as they do Olympics all the time. And you were mentioning earlier a thing called the Australian serve in ping pong. Now, if you don't know about Dragon, he is a man of a zillion talents, okay? Not only is he a film guru, graduated from all the film colleges, top-notch, Mr. Everything. He's also our lighting guy, our producer guy, engineer guy. Turns out he added ping pong superstar to his list. I didn't even know you could take ping pong lessons. The dude was taking ping pong lessons in the basement of a church, like 30 ping pong tables. And apparently, there is a serve in ping pong called the Aussie serve, where you go to serve it, and when you hit it with your paddle, it goes under the table and then goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And I said, no way that's real. He's like, yeah, it's a real thing. So we were going to ask AJ about that to see if the Aussie serve was real. And hopefully we can get one tomorrow. That'll be very, very good. As CTV's Matt Young is back from his vacation, so he's going to stop by tomorrow as well, and we will say hello to him, see how the vacation went, see what's going on in the world of his hobby, which is coding video games. He's put us in Super Mario Brothers. He put us in Tecmo Super Bowl. He's put us in a lot of cool things. So we'll check in with him. Maybe we'll get a Zoom on with AJ, and I'm working, man. So this is one more thing before we go today. My main man, the great Croker, member of our Dufferin Ave Media Network family. He's also Mr. Everything, being out. For as much as I never want to go out or leave the house, he's always out. And he is creating content with the good people over at Creator Aid. And he just signed on with PlayNow.com. We love PlayNow.com. And he's got a thing called the Dad Parlay of the Week. And whenever we talk about gambling here, it's always budget gambling because we have no money. So I like to say we like to chase the big odds. So it's all about those exact things, like he says, the parlays, the $5 bets, the $250 bet parlay, swing for the moon, get those odds up real high. and he's got a thing that he's promoting. It's the Dad Parlay of the Week. So hopefully we'll be checking in with him tomorrow or Friday, as we will also get the Twitch stream going on Friday, which I'm very excited for, as there have been a lot of smack talk going around when it comes to the Super Smash Bros. On the N64. So we will find out who is the ultimate Super Smash Brother on Friday with our first Team Twitch here over at the Dufferin Avenue Media Network as well. Quick shout out to our friends over at Aquaman Limited. Love these guys. As you can see, we got their stuff on set here. Look at this. Look how nice these. I think I was supposed to give these away, but I don't want to. Look how nice this is. Look at that. Nothing better on a 29-degree day than a beautiful Aquaman bunny hug. Ooh, I like that. Well, maybe we start doing some draws. That might be a thing. Hey, Dragon, get some draws going. Yeah, not the ones that you got on underneath your pants. You know, I'm talking about one where you pull a name out and they win stuff. So maybe that's something we'll do. Water monitoring, water sampling, underwater drone inspections. It's all going down with our friends at Aquaman in Alberta and Saskatchewan. Yeah, based out of Lloydminster. So shout out to them. Wendy Brooks Media. Yeah, she's the best. If you hate social media as much as I do, if you check your Facebook Messenger once every month, she's the girl for you. She'll make it all happen. One Bad Podcast, very good. You can check that out on Friday. Tomorrow, episode 2 of the All Out of Angst podcast will be dropping. Every Thursday, it goes on with our friends at Uncle Mike's All Natural Products. Yeah, he sponsors it. He's also a member of the team, along with Matt from All the Bands, as we get a little more into the songwriting portion of the show, which is very good. So episode 2 will be dropping tomorrow. If you ever feel like you want to join us here at the Dufferin Avenue Media Network, it's real easy. You want to be a show host, look at that, like our friends in the Commander Cookout podcast. God, I love their Skeletons Network, Ryan and Uncle Brando right there looking great. Or if it's through advertising or sponsoring, whatever it is you want to do, we can help you out. All you got to do is head to dufferinave.com as I'm waiting for the pizza to be served up. Anytime now, the Dragon will make the magic happen. There it is. Look at that. Ooh, dufferinave.com. It's a great website. I was just on it today. Royal Andy, the greatest website maker in the history of all the internet. He put it together and catered to you and I, the people who hate websites that are busy with pop-ups and all the sort of distractions that take you away from whatever you're trying to accomplish. At this website, it's a slow scroll and everything you need is right there. Nothing blowing up in your face. No ads going all over the place. It's just nice and smooth. You can get in, get signed up, and join the team if you want to start making the world a better place like we do around here. As I believe it is time to fire up the Frankie's Fingers. This is how we always end the show. And I'm excited to talk to Von Trask to see if maybe we can get a new version. Because I know he's got a bunch. I didn't know, and then I did know, that his 94-year-old grandpa has more than just this song played on the piano. And they are incredible versions of just old-timey piano playing. And we're so grateful that this has become sort of a fun little thing that happens on the show. Whenever we have guests around, they get to play the piano and make it look like, you know, they're doing it like this. But you didn't come here for that, so I will stop playing the piano and we'll leave it to the professionals. Thank you to Dragon on the ones and twos today. I love that man. You know him from the viewing room, by the way. Sort of a big deal. We love him very much. Him and LB do their show. Hopefully they'll be dropping soon. When are we dropping that thing, bro? Yeah, soon. Dropping soon. As well, thank you to Graham Templeman, a.k.a. Grandma, as we introduced you to him today. He is an incredible human being, full of knowledge and wild, crazy stories, to the point where we're going to basically start a show with him. So that's going to be another show coming down the pipe for us to look forward to. Thank you to Coach Mazer kicking things off today, reminding us about the draft winner, both drafts, the hockey one and the Masters draft. Same dude. Sasko, well done, as he's getting a couple shirts. And then he had to go off because his kids always have baseball. So they are there. And thank you to Adrian, a.k.a. Coach Number One, even though he didn't join us today because our Zoom wasn't zooming like it's supposed to. So, well, if I cared about numbers, I would be excited about that. Is that a lot? Sounds like a lot. Okay, halfway to 100. That's fun. You know the stats. Why don't you talk on the mic more? You guys are such characters. I don't know why you don't just leave that thing on.
Okay, fine.
That's
50,000 channel views. Congratulations.
to you. We also should get a camera in there. Have we looked at getting a camera in the producer booth yet?
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Everyone wants to see your face. It's too beautiful. Oh, okay. And thanks to our friends at Pet Planet on 8th Street for hooking us up with Maggie's new outfit, straight out of the dog park. It's an incredible, incredible shirt. So thanks to Mike and Rochelle over there for the great visit this afternoon. Remember, be kind to each other, all right? That's how we make this world a better place. We'll talk to you tomorrow.